Good evening. Can anyone hear me? Tommy, can you hear me? Good evening, guys. It is I, Schmuel Buckman. And here we are. And here we are. I'm hearing myself twice. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. This has been a chore getting this super tip stuff set up. Jesus Christ. I'm fading from the scene. Fading from the scene. But here I am. Of course, Dave is in Potatoes Chat. He's supposed to be here at 9. We let him slip. Just give me one sec, kids, because I have a. Well, this is gonna hurt. All right, talk to me. Talk to me. Um, does this guy have Down syndrome? I don't know. Ask your mom. Oh, I know what's going on. She could probably help you with that. All right. There we go, kids. Um, let's get this show on the road. Sam Bibley. Hey, Doom. Hey. Well, you guys, hey, um, I hear that somebody else is on and streaming, so I keep but I persist. I keep going and excuse the camera and my desk and all that stuff. We'll get over all of it. Good evening, Chairman or Doctor Mega G. Apologies for that. Um, we want to get into this. We want to lower my. There we go. Now I can hear myself. All right, let's get this show on the road. Um, so feel free, folks. If karmic is what you want to do, I'm probably not for you. So you can go there. Uh, apparently, he was talking about me again. I guess I did the, I suggested that it's possible that he used ski mask as an educational moment. Um, and he didn't. Um, Where's Crumb Bum, your little butt buddy? I do not know. Didn't talk to him today. It's been a kind of wacky and wild day. I was saving all of my brain energy for you guys, and then I wound up having to discuss for 3 hours on the phone something with a friend, and it it sapped me of much of the thought process that I had tonight. So I have notes, and we'll go over them. Uh, you tell. Oh my god. Um, Cantaloupe filter, the okay, crazy Lope crump. You're welcome to stay, but if you're just gonna keep spamming the chat, I'm gonna time you out for a few minutes. Because I don't know. We just don't need that, and that's kind of not what we do here. So feel free to rock and roll yourself. Um, oh, and right now, apparently Schmuel got up there. Yeah, well, just slow down a little bit, catch up, and join us. We don't need 1,000 chats in the thing from the same people. The crazy, say, aka at Cantaloupe Filter, aka the crazy Lope. Do you know Crazy Paul? I don't know. Do you know? You'll have to. I guess we'll ask him that question. And I just want to try something and see if this works. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that or not. If you were, let me know. If you weren't, let me know. Um, Schmiel, why do you think me, Karmic, and others see so many similarities in you to Liam? I don't know. Maybe you guys figure it out and get back to me and let me know. Um, I can't. I don't have an answer for that question. And funny, I don't think I'm like Liam, but hey, anything's possible. So there we go. All right. Stallion, I'm gonna try one more time. That's so weird. A muffled KB. Thank you. It was a muffled KB. I thought we had it set. Let's see if I fucked anything up. I did not. It is on there. Hold on. Let's jerk it up here a little bit. And so this, sorry. I'm starting to think Schmiel doesn't have a pre-show meeting with himself. I don't actually. I did check this stuff before, and I actually had a lot of time today. And I had uh, thought of preparing all this and just doing this stuff. And it turned out that someone needed to talk, and it was a good friend, and I needed to be there. And so this wound up being later than I expected it to be. Beloved chatter. Sounds like it might be a good point. I think maybe the Liam and Shmuel comparison consists because that they both originated primarily as regulars before establishing their own brands and channels. Um, it's possible. Beloved chatter. I, I think that's a fair comparison. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know about Liam, but I was certainly not around before, and just came into this thing because I'm a child. And yeah, we're also both pious, sober dudes. I, I just started doing this for fun. Liam, he's seriously in the business and the film degree, and he has some semblance of a career behind him. So who knows? At Beloved Chatter now, Frank probably or some other guy would say that too. So Frank thinks it's the really bad traits. Uh, Beloved chatter. Yes, it's a common thread trying to rationalize with Ray. That may be it. I don't know how much Liam did, but I, I definitely tried that before. And man, it just doesn't work. Um, and I love Ray. I think Ray's pretty cool, but it's so hard. And I part of the difference I think is that Liam went off into trolling Ray, and I've tried not to do that. Um, so bad takes, no, not bad traits, slightly better, since a take is something you do and a trait is something you are. Thank you very much. Um, Schmuel, flavored any do you partake in any flavored triangular snacks? None that I am aware of. Um, I don't really snack much. I tend to live on protein drinks, which pissed me off when I went to buy them the other day and the price went up by like $5 a package. But not much else there. Um, and Frank, I know I know you love your Middle East stuff, but we're not going to do it. Um, I drink Slim Fast and Ensure. I guess that's like, is that like, the hell was the shit? Oh, SJ was drinking Boost, and oh, I am an idiot. Um, there we go. Schmuel is not a Dorito man, as Stallion 19 is pointing out. I will eat a Dorito, but I'm not usually a fan of Doritos. But a little tidbit into my world is that I have celiac, so I can't eat wheat. And Doritos, for the most part, although I do check the label, are gluten free. So yeah, I do have them, but I can't get the fucking, excuse my language. I can't get the taste out of my mouth. It's like after I eat them, they still feel like they're in there, and it comes back. I'm a super bland guy. Not that you can't tell by my appearance, um, and what I'm doing here. But yeah, I'm not that, look, I would rather eat a regular um just chip kind of thing. And that's my that's where I am. I want to head into Catalano TV because that's where much of my content came today when I was thinking about this. So I'm just loading it up over here. And So I said earlier today we would talk about Ski Mask, Joey C. I'm going to mention Granny, and we'll talk about my friend Karmic, Aaron, the idiot Imholt, and a couple of random thoughts. I'm going to start with Aaron because he's the least interesting, and I just want to get there, but I also like I have a real problem, and um I'm learning that it's becoming more and more of a problem for me. I am really super unhappy with guys. It, these guys. Aaron is what 39 years old, and he's got 3 kids, and his mother is describing him as a misguided young man. And I look at that and I'm like, well, no wonder he's a misguided fucking man because of you calling him a young man. Um, but the latest story with Aaron is that he has a court hearing on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to Wednesday, and Wednesday is going to be when he gets sentenced for his plea to the Kayla Ricada revenge porn thing, what he calls a minor, right, a minor incident, and that he equates with bullying, and it's obviously to everyone who was watching, it was more than bullying, um, and by any definition, it it is revenge porn. Um, uh, Chris Mack. Aaron was court ordered not to mention or allude to Kayla Ricada, the victim of the crime he is pleading guilty to. Yet he continued to for the best, talk about her for the best part of the year. That's the gist. Thanks. So what's happening is on Wednesday, he's supposed to be sentenced to the misdemeanor. What was filed in court yesterday was a notice of what the probation department believes is a probation violation, which will be adjudicated before a judge. Um, Aaron came on stream yesterday and claimed that it was just more lawfare, more everything just designed to get him, and they're coming after him, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Aaron never accepts personal responsibility for anything. Everything is always everybody else's fault. And this lawfare notion is kind of bullshit. And it's bullshit in this way. And that way is that this wasn't like Kayla Ricada went and filed this violation. Um, this has whether or not it has anything to do about them. Um, this was enough that the probation department felt that it should go before a judge. So Aaron can say anything that he wants. You know, he's the big time constitutional defender. To paraphrase my friend NJ Ranger, he didn't just want people thrown into prison, he wanted them built under, put underneath it and a prison built over them. But everybody seems subject to the law except Aaron. And in his own mind, it's lawfare when it's against him, it's justice when it's brought out against other people. And so fuck him. And I hope that the judge on Wednesday will ask him a few questions and will tell him that he has not been serious. Um, and he hasn't been following these things, the probation order, and that he's going to wind up with a few days in jail. I don't want the guy to go away forever. Um, but I want him to feel some consequences because life without consequences, not a good life. It's not going to be great for him. He's going to wind up, those kids of his are going to wind up being with their poor daddy. All right, guys. So, Cupcakes Corner. Okay. This is an old super tip. This is an old super tip that I just wanted to see if that played, and it does. Um, Does Schmuel think he has three other guests, hence the small square? Yeah, I'm actually talking to them now. No, I'm dicking around with the system. I worked with Annie yesterday to get. I worked with Annie yesterday to try to get the super tips to play. We've been having an issue with them where they've played over. Um, I can hear them. People can sometimes hear them on. Sometimes people can hear them on StreamYard, but no one's been able to hear them on YouTube.
Dave, next time wear your good T-shirt, Ranger.
And
Dave, next
Kevin
time wear
Brennan,
your good T-shirt,
and that's going to play about 5 times. I'm going to pause that. So if you guys were able to hear that, that would be pretty cool. Sometimes I can hear them when I'm asleep. Can't we all? So in any event, all right. I spend way too much time chit chatting. I should really start at 7:30, not go live, and then starting it. All right, I'd ask you what it would say, but it's on there. I can actually tell. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I'm going to unmute it. But that's
Dave, next time wear your good T-shirt, Ranger.
yeah, still not right. All right. Oh well. All right. So we're back to we're, we're back to super tips, tech super tits, tech super tips, but we will not have. Um, I will turn it off. The ability to send voice tips, and one day I'll get this right. And the other part of this, guys, is that I don't really do this. I haven't done this for money, and so it's not the thing that's been most important to me. Um, I just like streaming and I enjoy it, and I'd like to cover my expenses. So I'm going to get it fixed, and in the meantime, maybe I'll put up an Amazon wish list so that you can help me in that area, and maybe I'll have Peter Sky Parker set something up so that I can sound better. Maybe we can go with that. I'm sure Cookie can attest. Chow. Chow, we need Shmuel to assure us he's not dickless and in fact has a bigger piece than Karmic. I've never seen Karmic's piece, so I cannot tell you whether or not it's bigger or smaller. And not that it matters at my age, but more importantly, if it didn't work, Leo Gunn, there would be no Cookie. Still no Dave. Dave is not going to, I said 9 o'clock. Jesus Christ. All right. Speaking of Cookie, I can hear that she just walked in. Schmuel and Girth Brooks. Very, very funny. That is hilarious. And Dr. Chow, the Mega G, what would you theorize? I theorize a lot of stuff, but not that. So I was talking to a friend today, and we were talking about a bunch of stuff, including his relationship that's kind of been on the rocks, and how to handle it, and and what to do with it. And the guy is 54, or no, whatever. He's in his 50s. I think he might be older than that. And so his name is Uncle Bob, and I carry him around with me on my iPhone. Um, but we were talking, and as we were talking, we were just talking about the differences in our relationships as we've gotten older, instead of how we handled them when we were younger. And I, of course, launched into my um, thing about being an adult and how we have to handle things. And then I saw a post from one Joseph Catalano, um, quitting again, and it made me absolutely insane. And I'm going to put it up on screen, and then I'm going to close my door, and I'll give you guys a chance to read it. Hopefully, you can see the entire thing, I believe. There we go. And let me close my door. All right, I'm back. Um, so, wow, look at that. I went into full screen. There's my secret, kids. My background is from one camera, and this is from OBS, and this is from a webcam, which is currently not doing the greatest job. Um, Plus, Karmic called Buckman dickless, and Ski called him a human testicle. We need facts. Um, yeah, I'm either a dickless human with testicles or a testicle without, whatever. But we're totally gonna get we're totally gonna get into that. But let me put this back up here, and let me talk about um, what I really wanted to get into. So I don't know if you guys can read it. If I go full screen, then I can't see the chat. So I'm hoping you guys can read it. And this is Joey Say, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it. This is a final statement from Joey C. The final statement until probably tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Um, Final statement from Joey C. I walk away a man. To Carl WATP, to Adam Bush, the actor I truly respected, and to Shuli Egar, who I once considered a friend. I want to speak from the heart one last time. I've grown, I've learned. No matter how this ends, I'll always value the experience. I've been nothing but loyal to Shuli, to Carl, to this crazy Dabbleverse world. But today I opened my eyes. I realized I'm not a peer to you. I'm a punchline. Shuli, Shuli, I was just a whack packer. To Carl, some charity case to mock when convenient. Adam, at least you gave it to me straight, and for that I will always respect you. But let me be clear: don't ever compare me to Stuttering John. Stuttering John had success at one point. The man fakes his pain. I lived mine. I've done time. I've lived on the street. I've faced real battles, not podcast drama. You all live off the echo chamber of the same tired bit. John, John, John. You're building your careers off a man you claim to hate. That ain't me. I ain't changing who I am. I never played a role. I gave friendship, loyalty, and realness. I got used. It's clear now. To the fans who supported me, thank you. To those who laughed at me instead of with me. You just showed me who you are. Um, and to all three of you, and I mean this with no hate, just the truth. Um, I'm done. I'm walking away from this mess. I gave it my all. Now I take back my peace. Holy goddamn guacamole. What the hell is going on with this guy? Um, Joey, let me put it to you. Let me put it to you clearly. You're pathetic. You've been pathetic since the day that you came into the universe. Okay, you've been a whack packer forever. You've never done any of the work that Carl or Shuli or Adam did. All you've done, all you've done is lied, cheated, and stole your way to the positions that you are now. Everyone has tried to help you, including myself, and none of that worked. You don't plan, you don't work, you don't do anything. You claim to be a super success at this. Um, oh, you've made so much money, you've been so successful at it, and it's just completely bullshit. Um, so you know, I was writing some notes earlier on when I was thinking about this, and it amazes me that you could be 60 years old and so fucking delusional. Eckel and Rochi do a great job covering Joey. They're not making fun of him. They're pointing out what he does and how he is. Uh, the guy, again, 60 years old and has done nothing but grift. I went through that Adam interview the other night, and I I I was disturbed. Growing up as a kid in an alcoholic family, I'm sure that my mother thinks that she did a great job, uh, but she didn't. But towards the end of her life, she started to own some of the things that she did, and she could pass on with having done at least that. Joey doesn't own anything. He thinks he owns things, but he doesn't. Um, I'm sorry, but I don't know any meth head, crackhead, or whatever that's a great parent that goes out and comes home and thinks they've taken their kids and has done a great job. Let's put it to you. Let's also say that where are those kids now? Melton pointed out that Joey talks about what's important and what's a good guy he is. Joey does, and yet he had the kids' ashes sitting in an old litter box package, under a desk somewhere, waiting for everyone else to buy an urn. And you could get an urn for 150 bucks. So maybe go a week without kids. Well, without kids. I'm reading Frank's chat. Why go a week or so, uh, or go a week or so without some cokes and get the money together? Taking care of your family is the most important thing that a man is supposed to do, and uh, we failed miserably at that when it comes to Joey. But Joey's always going to tell us how fantastic he is. And somebody's asking, like, where's the vitriol coming from? The vitriol is coming to me from me tonight because of the death of Ski Mask. This guy was 30 years old. I didn't know the guy other than as a character on stream, not a friend. But it is always sad to me to see someone that everyone around him said was talented, everyone around him said was a good guy, and he's taken away at 30 years old. Um, what's the luck, right? Why was Joey lucky enough to live till his 60s doing the same shit, and this guy at 30, we lost him? So uh, that's where the vitriol's coming from. The vitriol's coming from, we don't get a guarantee in life. We all have an opportunity to change. We all have an opportunity to be better. And Joey has never taken that opportunity, but he constantly tells us that he has. And now he's butthurt because he finally figured out that he's the court jester and not the king. So there we go. Jesus, so you're mad at Joey for not dying at 30. Not at all mad at Joey for living past 30, but just not understanding why one guy gets taken and the other guy doesn't. Chris Mack, I love Ski Mask. To my eternal shame, I would send him $10 or $20 if he came on a stream and seemed like he was in danger of having another seizure. Yeah, Chris, we're gonna go. We're going there. I asked Quad months ago at some point. Ski Mask could come on a stream and he'd done his usual crazy cock stuff and take out your balls and everybody's gay and blah 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 stuff, and it bothered me. And I asked Quad at some point if we were just picking on an alcoholic. You know, the dance, rummy dance that you used to see in the old westerns. And I didn't really get an answer from Quad because Quad was Ski Mask's friend. And when you're a friend to somebody, you look at it much more differently than you do like a guy like me who's looking at it from the outside. But I got to say, that's what it appeared to me. It appeared to me that Ski Mask was in danger, horrible danger. Um, and society, not the individuals, but society, just let him continue in danger. And it's very hard. You can't judge a family. You can't judge friends. I've had people who've been in the same situation and there was nothing they could do, uh, and their kids passed away. But it's just sad to me that I get a guy who had a problem, had a disease, um, and passed away, and never in my experience on the internet was he grifting. Never was he begging for money, and none of his stuff was phony. Whatever you want to say about him, he was real, and real is hard to come by. Um, Alcoholism is a bitch. It's a bad disease. And I actually said it the other night on stream before I knew what had happened about his death, that his pancreatitis at a young age is not good. And if you don't take care of your drinking, your life is going to be over pretty shortly. So that's part of my thing. And I'm really, really tired of the Joey grifting and the Joey making excuses and the Joey doing all these things. But he got lucky to survive it all. And so here he is at 60, whining to me that people didn't take him seriously. So I know that's like a very roundabout route to get there. But I got to say, I've seen, I've seen what the alcoholism can do. And somebody set it up here that, as Rudy Bag said, you can't force helping someone, and you can't also be responsible. We're not responsible for their actions. It's a sad comment on the planet. And And my point about Joey is, hey man, you're lucky it didn't happen to you, and start understanding that luck and start doing something with it and stop fucking grifting people over it. Um, just fucking talk about stream of unconsciousness. Spit it out, Schmuel, for fuck's sakes. Mrs. Buckman says that all the time. I talk way too slim. Ski mask didn't seem at peace in this plate of existence. I can understand that. Place of exist. Yes. So that's part of what I was thinking about earlier as well with Joey. And I was thinking about, part of becoming an adult is becoming aware of what your place is and doing the best that you can with the talents that you've been given. And unfortunately, some of us don't get the luck to do it. So that's my um, sort of comment on Ski Mask's death. I think what Chad did yesterday was terrible. Mostly because it wasn't funny, and secondly because it lacked context. And I guess BYB went over much of the context, uh, but like fuck Chad. He just garbage, just absolute garbage. And I'm really shocked of the people that I've um, come across. And Granny, I just realized that Schmuel looks like Clearwater Chad accidentally swallowed a bottle of Ozempic. Yeah, we do. Clearwater Chad. I'm a Clearwater Chad's going to look like when he's old. But let's talk about Granny, right? So Granny, if we remember, and sorry to do this, but Granny went to rehab. He came back. We're all very happy about Granny's going to rehab. And then rehab. Then Granny relapsed, and it was bad. But now Granny, as he said on stream, is taking naloxone and helping him do something to stop drinking. And that's being an adult, taking responsibility and knowing what you got to do. And Granny, when I heard Granny say that, I admired him for doing it. Um, I wish that I had done it sooner. I sit here before you feeling very lucky because I was able to overcome alcoholism, and it was really tough. And in the beginning, it was great. Gabe liked you. Schmuel, play my Karmic Clippy drips, Crumbum, and mentioned you. Thanks, but Karmic drags me all the time, and it's because I suggest to him that maybe drinking bottles of Crown Royal on air is not the way to build a career. I've tried to be nice to him, and I've tried to help him out as much as I can. I don't know anything about streaming. I don't know anything about his music. I just know I do know about life, and I know that you can change it. I was a piece of shit for most of the first 30 years of my life, and that was because I was responding and acting to the way that I was brought up. Uh, and you can allow yourself to become what you were brought up to be, or you can change, right? There's stuff that you can do. The Joey thing about going back to Chicago to find out who he is and why he is because of those things. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter who your parents were. None of those things matter. What matters is you're an adult today, right? You have choices that you can make today. It's nice to understand those things. You'll never get 100%, but you can get 80, you can get 70, you can get better. And that's the deal. And this notion that uh, Chrissy's Down syndrome baby says junkie's gonna junk. Some, yes, and it's sad, and it's sad when it happens. Um, and one of the most annoying things, if you've ever been involved in any of these 12-step programs or other programs, um, are the guys who are not sober, but then preach sobriety and tell you how to do it. But many guys who are junkies have become really good people. So let's go there. It looks like we may be joined by somebody who's going to put me in my place and actually make me talk and think. And I'd like to say that I would tell you that I apologize for this, but I really don't. I got tapped out having to think so much before. So Leo Gunn, how about MKE? He's another one. Yeah, very delusional. MKE holds down a job though, and he's had the same job for a long time. And as somebody on here said, you have to get through 17 layers of mental illness before you get down to the alcohol problem with him. So I don't know, and I don't know enough about him to do that. But Rudy Baggett, no shame in it. I've been sober for 17 years. It's a process, and it is a process. We were talking about that today on Twitter with Panhandler and I think Wade or Wave. Um, and I talked about the first couple of years sucking of being sober because your entire life changes. Everything you do, everything that you became comfortable with, um, sucks, And for Panhandler, uh, it's years later and it's still difficult for him. He still misses it, and it still hurts. And for guys like me and for Wade, we've been able to find our lives better for having put that stuff down. And I will tell you, this is where I go with my friend Karmic. I think Karmic's a talented guy. And I know people disagree with me, but I think he's talented. I think he could do reasonably well at streaming and podcasting. I don't think he'll ever be Mr. Beast or any of those things. But it ain't going to happen if you keep drinking, because the drinking just makes it worse and worse. And I can tell you that in my experience, in the beginning, having a couple of beers calmed me down before I had to do any kind of performance. And then it wound up being more and more, and then you just become a drunk. But one of the big fears is that if you stop drinking and you stop drugging, your creativity is going to be lost. You feel like your creativity is in there. And I've talked to a bunch of comics over and over again, and some other entertainers and some business people. And every single one of them universally has said that their creativity improved, that they were better afterwards. So there we go. I'm going to bring in my
Hello.
buddy Dave Sauer, who's going to lighten the mood a little bit.
Ask Artie Lang if you got better after the drugs.
Yeah, well, you have to stop. And I mean, you got to stop before you. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah, but that's the problem with this stuff is you reach a tipping point. You can get to a point where you can stop and you can get better. But once you go past it, stopping is not going to help. It's not going to, your creativity, you've ruined your brain, you've ruined your organs. It's too late. So Artie Lang is not a good example of this. He might be a good example of this if he'd stopped 10 years earlier, right?
I don't know the
And
correlation.
he might be a good example of this if he stopped 10 years earlier and he didn't have all the enablers around him that he had.
Yeah, sure.
So, but Granny, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. Friends of Bill or something. Yeah, it's that's totally true. I hear that a lot. And somebody's asking if I was, what kind of drunk were you, Schmuel? Happy drunk? I'd say I would say I was pretty happy. Turn yourself up a bit, Dave. I would say I was pretty happy. But mostly I would get terribly thoughtful. And if you think listening to this is fucking boring, you should hear me when I'm drunk. I just go on and on and on. But I wound up doing I would do like stupid things like blackout and then text ex-girlfriends, call ex-girlfriends, talk to them. I'd have $500 Amazon orders showing up and not remembering what they were doing. I'd make commitments that I never intended to follow through because I didn't even remember that I did them.
I mean,
So
buying something for $500 and it showing up is pretty cool. I mean, at least you can do that, right?
yeah, not yeah. Well, the fact when that's cool, the paying for it, that's the hard part. What are you're eating now, huh?
Yeah, you always do your show during my dinner time.
Oh, I was they wanted you on because I was droning and it was a stream of unconsciousness, as somebody said.
Oh, it's not because your mic is different than what it's supposed to be, but it's okay.
Why? What's wrong with my mic?
No, absolutely nothing. Don't fuck with it right now. It's perfect. Please don't fuck with it.
Come on, I want to fuck with it just for you.
Oh, dude. Should have even brought it up. Anyway, Ski Mask, rest in peace.
You're like a friendlier, kinder Peter Sky Parker, except you always find a problem.
I'm your producer.
Whether it's sound or video or
but I'm your producer. I'm supposed to do
something.
that. Yeah,
No,
to me, I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't sound like you're talking through your mic. But I don't even know, and I don't even want you to look through it because that's even more annoying. But yeah, I was listening to you earlier, and I agree. I think Ski Mask was a real dude, as you said. He was a real dude.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Dave, I can fuck with my mic.
All right, cool.
I could do that, but then I don't know that everybody can hear me.
I mean, we can hear you, and it sounds better, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see if we can hear something else as well.
Produce the Sierra strikes again.
Yeah. And nobody can hear that, right?
No, but you're getting closer to what you're supposed to do. I can see you have the super tip up in the background, and you're getting closer to how you're supposed to do it.
Yep. Thank you. So we do have kids. We do have.
Oh, I see what you're doing. And no, you're not doing it the correct way. You've got 2 StreamYards open.
No, I have a StreamYard open on. So what this is, the background is coming in through OBS.
Yeah.
And the overlay is streaming. The super tip overlay is streaming through OBS. And what you're looking at me is a separate Chrome stream with the camera. And
I can tell because your view, the Schmuel Buckman, is muted, yet I can hear you through the super tip view.
Exactly.
Right, which is incorrect. Just so to let you know.
Hey, you can hear me talk through the super tip.
That's the only way we can hear you talk is through that super tip screen. That's currently
right. So that was supposed, yeah, and that was we can do this later, but that's why I was supposed to have my audio set as default cable D, but then I hear that you can't hear me if I do that.
I didn't say I couldn't hear you. It just said that it sounded like you're coming through that blue microphone of yours that's really pretty right in front of you.
It does not sound like I'm coming through.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, all right. Well,
it sounds great, though. It sounds great.
We can figure it all out. We could even try this.
Oh, boy.
So we will do that. I tried something else but earlier, but I'm going back to the other mic. Hold on, sweetheart. Let's get this shit straightened out. And there we go.
Yep.
Should be much better.
Yes, you're good. You're fine. All right.
Much better. Yeah, I have I bought a pack of these. I had burned my first one smoking a cigar, and an ash went onto the top of it, and the fucking thing went. It started smoking, slapping it. So I bought a pack of them, and they're either blue or purple.
You know, one of the first times I met, I don't remember who it was. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was a comic, not a super big comic, but anyway, I remember I was, you know how like, when you're doing blow, you do one of these like, you do that.
Yeah.
So I had a cigarette in my hand and I went and the fucking ember came off of the cherry and right into my nose. Luckily it didn't go all the way up, but it fucked my shit up. It was brutal. So I had to go obviously do a rail right after that to numb the pain. But it caused the scene. Boy, did it cause a scene.
I've done several things on. Yeah, Dave, turn up your mic again. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
It's all the way up.
Edit mic settings. Yeah, it is. It is all the way up. I'm gonna try echo cancellation and see if that helps.
Hopefully that's better.
Oh yeah, 100 times better. We can now hear you. Yeah, I did set that on. I did set my mic on fire. And the other thing I've done is I went to light a cigar with my trusty torch thing that was new, and I burned my eyelash off.
I remember that.
I look like such a fucking asshole, but but that's it. Cigarette Jones, Dave Sauer is better on the cocaine. I completely disagree.
Kevin Brennan said my best appearance on MLC was the last one, and boy was I high.
Yeah. Well, Kevin only cares about what comes in on the super chats, and the more we can make you dance like a monkey, the more super chats they'll send.
Yeah, we can dance underneath Granny's circus tent boobies.
Yeah, somebody did ask for Granny to get the link.
I know, but they got to pay for that.
And I said I'm fine with sending Granny the link. So
Granny wants the link.
We've had Granny on before, so if Granny wants the link, you can get it. But Granny is usually a pretty busy guy in the streaming world.
I'm sending it.
So there we go. And I tried to get the pineapple on tonight, but he's got a wife and has to go to bed. So there's that, and so that's not going to happen. And we need to lower that. Sorry, boys. And just let's. I want to run through this. I want to see how that comes up. Is it up on your screen, and can everybody see it on YouTube? All right. You could not hear that, I believe. Yeah. All right. So we'll get that shit straightened out at some point. But feel free to super tip text chats. And,
how long do you have? How long do you have left? How long do you have left on your StreamYard contract?
Till October.
Oh boy.
I know. I looked the other day because I was looking at it because I thought it was earlier than that, but it's like sometime in October. You don't get your money back, and they raised the price just after I bought it the last time, and they've raised the price again since. So it's like $500 plus a year now.
But you can't. So first of all, they're not obviously raising the price on you because you're locked in, right?
Right.
Second,
I imagine that when renewal comes up, they would raise the price.
So there's no way to like prorate it or anything, huh? Even if you try canceling it.
The way that I understand it is, at least when I tried to cancel it the other day, the way that it came out was, I can cancel it, but all that will do is cancel it until
the day.
Yeah. And there's no refund.
Yeah, I mean, basically you cancel it, meaning it's not going to renew on October or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
October 7th.
Which I already have it set up for that anyway. Wow, it's 3 a.m. in the UK.
Cool.
Do they charge tax too? This is an excellent question, Dr. Chow, and the answer is yes, but there are ways around it. If you do it in New York State, it's the 8.875% sales tax. And if you do it in New Jersey, I don't believe that there's any sales tax. And it's like your Microsoft account. if you use the address of a hotel in Las Vegas as the physical address, there's no sales tax either. So when I bought, I have to pay a lot of money for Microsoft because I have to pay it for the employees. So I was goofing around one day and I put in the address of the South Point Casino because I just wanted to see what the taxes were, and it was 0. And it's it's $200 a person for.
Okay, but you're saying when you mentioned the hotel, what does the hotel necessarily have to do with anything? Nothing.
It was the first. It was just the address that I could.
Yeah,
I needed an address in Nevada, and that was the first one that I did it.
They have no state tax. Yeah.
So it was cool, and they do have sales tax, but they don't have a tax on software or software purchase.
Oh, specifically software. Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, so everything is like, and it's like you could sit for hours trying to figure that all out. But it was weird because I had one of my management systems. I used to get a pretty hefty tax bill on every month, and then we changed the addresses to Jersey to have everything go to my accountant. And the next month my bill was different. It was lower by about 7%. And I was like, why? And that was the reason why. New Jersey didn't charge tax on the software.
Wow, he's gonna bomb India. Look at him.
There we go. I'm going to do going to do all these things. All right.
He's gonna grow up and be a great pilot.
Can we move let's move on. Yeah, everybody wants to buy seat 11A. I've been hearing that people are paying extra to get seat 11A, and all I'm thinking is it just comes with more duct tape. I flew Air India once, and when I went to the back to go to the bathroom, there was so much duct tape holding up the panels, I was blown away. But it was pretty goddamn scary. And the plane kind of smelled, but the people were nice. So there we go.
Yeah.
Chris Mack, here in Nevada doesn't allow scratch tickets. They keep gambling in the casinos. Is that true?
Okay, maybe not scratchers specifically, but I'm pretty sure they have these ones where you like open the fucking thing, almost like a slot machine.
Oh, the peels, the
peel things.
Yeah. So they used to have those.
Positive they have those.
In Connecticut, they first, the Connecticut casinos got started with bingo.
I guess no lottery in Nevada.
Right. So Connecticut casinos got started with bingo. And then they figured out that those little pull tab cards were also legal, but you couldn't have a scratch off card. And that was like a big thing, pull off cards for a while. I'm in New Jersey and in New York, and they have them fucking everywhere. Yeah, they have scratch offs everywhere, and you can't go anywhere. And they have the draw game. What is it, like Draw 5 or something? The instant lottery game.
Yeah, the regular ones, like draw. Whatever it is.
Every 10 minutes of stuff, and it was like, holy.
Like Keno.
Yeah, exactly. And it's wild because you like walk into a store, and the neighbor that I never see anywhere, I go to the local store and he's in there. And now every time I drive by, I notice he's in there, and that's what he does all day long.
Oh, by the way, I have a video premiering soon on my channel, which is today I was listening to Kurt Metzger talk to these this podcast to these guys on a podcast on Twitter Spaces. And he brought up Keno Casino, actually, and I was surprised. But just very briefly about like they go deep on some shit. I don't know what. But go to my channel and watch that later.
Cool. Why don't we have a drinking stream with us sober people?
Okay.
There has to be a dozen of us. I'd come on if I think it means if you'd have me. And I could figure out how. We could always get you on. That's not a problem. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But the question is, Permaseal, we're not going to be drinking on the drinking stream, are we?
Doesn't have to be alcohol.
Right. Well, I understand that, Dave. But when people say drinking, that's what they're talking about. So Yeah, I'd like Permasil to make it to 25 years, and I will make it to 9 in October. And but it's not a horrible idea, as my buddy Mr. Panhandler says. Not a bad idea. I do that. Just do a live AA stream. Nah, you crosstalk in AA, and everybody's talking like fucking spiritual language and all that bullshit. Fuck that. Let's just do it. Oh, you're killing me here. All right. Kino Casino is fine, but they're also retarded. I find Kino Casino one of those shows that I can watch occasionally, but it's a little too much. Like, there's just, I don't know, too much bullshit going on in it. What was your choice of drink back when you're hitting the sauce? I drank a lot of Jameson. That was the go-to. And then I liked, I was learning expensive bourbons and expensive ryes at the time. So there you go. And
Catcher in the Rye.
Dr. Chow, if he doesn't say vodka. Yeah, I wasn't a much vodka guy. So I like beer.
Vodka, I can do 10 shots. Tequila, I can do 8 shots. Whiskey, I can do 9 shots. And that's with no performing enhancing drugs. And those are the only type of drinks I ever took shots of.
Yeah. Real alkies drink vodka all day long. Yeah, real alkies drink Georgie.
Popov.
Popov, Georgie. What was the one that they had at the compound? It began with a D. I don't remember. It was another one of those knockoff ones. Dave, the numero uno Josh Denny fan, needs you to explain why you condone and enable this show.
I'm only one man. There's only so many people I can go after and remove from the internet.
All right. So that's wait. I'm going to go
Josh Denny fan.
Let me say this first, and then you can go. So that's correct. Chow, Low Odor, Tuner Town, 666. One of considered the greatest advertisements ever was for Smirnoff vodka, and it was Smirnoff leaves you breathless. And the implication of the Smirnoff leaves you breathless was you could drink at lunch and nobody would be able to smell it after you went back to work. And apparently people got that from the breathless thing, and that's the vodka is definitely the choice of people that don't want to smell like they've been drinking. Now you may go back and talk to numero uno.
No, it's not important.
Okay. Excuse me.
Preferable not to be brought up on here.
What's that?
Because we're fucking we're scheming with each other.
Oh, you and Josh.
Right?
Josh, yeah.
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
Dang lizard. What about mouthwash? Let's talk about alcohol.
Drinking it? Never had it. I've never taken shots of mouthwash. Although, real quick, very quickly, when I was in county, there were these Mexicans that would bring in the they would do the hand sanitizer thing with the powder and the fucking thing. Like there's all kinds of shit you do to it. You got to scoop the crap off of it, and then you end up with pure liquid, alcohol with a shit ton of like Kool-Aid in it, and you drink that shit, and they cost. It's like $25 for like something's like 2 shots basically, and then so they brought in 7 grams of blow, and like 30 of these fucking things they made. And this one Armenian guy buys all of it and just literally stays up for 2 days in the corner, just fucking tweaking out of his mind, drinking these fucking things until he finally passed out after like 2 days. Just an Armenian guy, just everybody would be like, "Hey, you okay, Op-Ed?" You're like, "Good."
So when you go to jail and they divide you up into racial groups, or they divide themselves up into racial groups, is there like an Armenian racial group? Yes. All right. So I'm going to answer.
No. In SoCal, in LA specifically, the Armenians roll with the Southsiders, with the Mexicans, the Southsiders. We pay 10% of our books to them. So every time I go spend $10, I have to give them $1 at the commissary.
And the Southsiders are
Mexicans, like
Mexicans?
Mexican, just anybody who's Mexican basically has to be a Southsider. That includes the paisas, the fucking gangsters, all of them. And they protect us. We have to do all their little bullshit at night, like the ati. You have to like, hey, yo, Holmes, thank you to the Lord. Yeah, whatever. Like you do that shit at night. Every night you got to do a prayer. And it's like, hey, thank you to the Lord. And at the end, everybody has to yell, ati, which I guess means end me or end you or whatever.
Gotcha.
Wow. The blacks and the Asians roll together, and the Asians pay the same thing to the blacks. They pay them 10% of the books. Armenians can roll with the Woods, which are the white people. Okay. We can roll with them. We don't pay them anything on the books. Okay. But if shit pops off, you got to fight. With the Southsiders, if shit pops off, you don't have to fight. You're not allowed to fight unless you're being like actively, whatever, fucked up. And if you fuck up, they still give you like the 13-second jump in and all that bullshit. I almost literally got fucked up because I approached the cage. You're not supposed to approach the cage. You're supposed to go to your rep and tell him to approach the cage, to talk to a police officer, because I knew I was supposed to get released. Okay. And they didn't call my name. And so I went up to the cage and I was like, no, that's bullshit. I'm supposed to get out. And the cop he's like, what's your name? And I said, my name. And he goes, oh yeah, you're in. And then he pointed at this black guy and he's like, you're out. And so the level that I'm in, like the room that I'm in, it's like 65 people and like 30 black and Asians, 30 Mexicans and Armenians. And we're all in one big cell together. We can't sit at the same tables. We don't use the same pissers and sinks, and we don't use the same showers, and we don't work out at the same time. But they were ready to fucking boo-bop me because I went up to the cage, and then on top of that, they fucking I stopped the black guy from getting taken that day, and I ended up going, and that would have started something. So nothing ended up happening, but as soon as I turned around, I'm telling you, all the Southsiders were right behind me with like the head guy, like coming up, like, what are you doing, dude? They were ready to fuck me up. They're like, you're leaving tonight, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, go get all your shit and give it to me. I gave him all my bed sheets, everything I had, gave it to him, and I got out. Thank God. If I didn't leave that night, I would have been fucked. They would have fucked me up.
Cool. You lost me
at the boobop.
You lost me, at the Arturo or whatever the fuck there was. Mint diggity, 24 people suffering through this. Yes, and if you count Twitter, there's way more. I'll put that one up about say nothing about Karmic drinking until you address this. Oh, Schmuel, you give Karmic a hard time for drinking, but say nothing to Dave's coked up ass. Like, what the fuck? Hypocrisy police.
I agree. You need to kick me off.
Might need to have a judge.
Ask me again ever on this here. Ever.
And how, you're assuming that Dave and I don't talk about this on a rather frequent basis. And we do. But like they said, I can't change. Somebody said earlier, I can't change him, and I've tried. But if you've noticed, Dave is not on nearly as much as Dave went on. This was going to be us together in the first time from the beginning.
Yes. I know that's what you thought.
Yeah, and but I talked about it. I've talked about it with Dave, and I don't say I have answers.
And look,
I'm just saying it is what it is. So there you go. Say nothing about Karmic drinking until you address this. And so wait, I want to just say this. My deal is, and this is the deal with Dave, and this is the deal with all you guys. I'm not going to shy away from it, and I am going to point it out. How they take it and what they do with it, that's sort of up to them. And I'm not saying shun a guy, but I'm saying we got to address the problem. And you know, Dave's an adult. He's going to do what he wants to do, and Karmic's an adult. He's going to do what he wants to do. There
Yeah,
we go.
I mean, first of all, like, you know, it's a lot of it is like I'm being hyperbolic on a lot of it. Sure, I do cocaine and I do drink. I drank yesterday. I had one beer yesterday. It was fine. I was on BYB. I had a couple beers on Monday too, I think. And I didn't have any cocaine this week so far. But Saturday night I partied. I don't know. Do I have a problem? Maybe. But at this point in my life, like, it's been the way I use drugs and alcohol and stuff has been the same for like 15 years. Like, nothing has changed. Like, it's very every couple weeks kind of a thing. You know, I rarely get I haven't been blacked out. I haven't blacked out in 10 plus years. You know, I'm not excusing any of this stuff. It's not, you know, great for your body to do that. But for the most part, I mean, say what you will, I got it pretty much under control. Unfortunately, when you watch Karmic, it doesn't look like the guy's got it under control. Say what you will, hypocrisy, but that's my opinion.
I got it. Hey, Frank says Schmuel only wants to have deep conversations about how KB is a piece of shit and Melton is salt of the earth. I don't think I've ever said Melton is salt of the earth, but I'll go with KB being a piece of shit. But if you know, I could say, you know, Dave is one of the few guys that went on KB and he's still allowed to come on here with me for free. Correct, Dave?
I don't bring any money in when I go on MLC, and I don't bring the numbers. If people really want me on MLC, they need to super chat. They need to super chat Kevin and tell him to have Dave on. That's literally the only way it works. The reason Karmic and Cardiff, and it's because people behind the scenes are, and also he's seeing the money when he's got Karmic on and he's got the potato and stuff. The numbers and the money goes way up.
Well, the potato is a big draw. Does he get money from Karmic? Does he make money when Karmic is on?
I don't know.
Because Karmic, I don't know Karmic says any, you know, because it's so weird. When I first saw Karmic on KB, he just sat there and he didn't say anything, just chuckled, you know. Maybe now he's more confident. I just don't watch the show, so I don't really know. But there you go.
Kevin reads a lot of my texts that I send him, though. He always, like, if I send him a text, he always like mentions it on stream, or like I send him the Dodgers text. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't.
You're like KB's only friend. Because he knows you're far enough away that you're not going to show up at his door.
Yeah, maybe he needs to like keep me. Maybe he needs to not have me on so that because he thinks I'm gonna get pissed off at him or something about something, or he's gonna piss me off unintentionally, and then he's not gonna be able to have somebody to give him some free tech advice when he needs. But yeah, who knows? Who cares? I don't care. I'm a fan.
I was laughing because I was working with Annie the other day on tech stuff, right? And I'm like, she is equal to you in tech knowledge, but the difference is she doesn't yell at me during it. So
knowledge.
It was fun. Permaseal finishing. Have a sober alcoholics tell stories, life experiences, how we got through it. This area could be use it. We can do that. I don't really want to turn it into an AA meeting, but you know, once in a while, get people on. You know, there was a comedy special thing that like Voss and these other guys did with like Comics Anonymous or something, some show where they came on and talked about it. And I got to tell you, the comics that I love, and it was watching paint dry, because I don't think anybody really cares about it. Buckman, why don't you live the life of a mega baller and show the way to sobriety by being a living example? I think I am. Especially if you meet me in person. You know, that's the whole thing. I show up with, you know, like a beautiful wife and a nice life, and I do streams from my shitty little backyard with my hot tub in the background. So very, very cool. the wife and I, the house behind us, I'm a block away from a lake, and the house behind us, the woman died, and the house went up for sale, and we made an offer on the house, right? And I am blown away at how many fucking phone calls I've been getting from mortgage companies and real estate brokers and text messages. It's like, once they put through that you're applying for it, because I guess they draw your credit report or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
we did not get the house.
It's like when you go to jail. It's like when you go to county, your mailbox when you get home from county is full of bail bonds spam. Full of it, and attorney spam.
Yeah.
Even us now, we're doing construction, on the house. It's not heavy construction. It's power washing the outside of the home and then re-cementing and re-cementing and repainting it, removing all the stucco, and then some trim jobs and stuff like that. It's big enough work though. Bro, now we're getting like every fucking day I'm getting calls on my cell phone, on my house phone about offers on the house now, and it's like it's just in the last month it's ramped up tenfold.
Yeah, I actually went on the Fed website and opted out of you can opt out of any financial or insurance, and in some states real estate information. I get the phone calls all the time like, oh, are you interested in selling your house? And Chow, also to answer your question, I don't want to be a mega baller. I just want to show that I can be happy and that you can be happy. Dave, did Gino get mad at you for revealing his credit card got declined?
He's never even really brought it up. I brought it up more with Kiki. I'm sure Kiki, I was on with Kiki and MLC when I brought it up. And I kept trying to say, like, oh, it was probably because of our state and stuff like that. I kept trying to say that. And Kiki kept going, well, I mean, went over his limit. Went over his limit. I'm like, no, it's okay. You don't have to say that. That's not what I meant. And I felt kind of bad. Here's the thing. I don't feel bad because, number one, we all make fun of the Gino's broke. I've said that, and Gino actually kind of got a little pissy with me. So I kind of, not that I stopped saying it, but just no reason.
God, I'm drinking right now at Mint Diggity. Mint, you have to get through this garbage.
All right, so Gino, the thing is, the reason I did tell the story is, number one, because I didn't tell a much bigger story that I'm not going to reveal. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as a cliffhanger and piss everybody off. But there's a much, much bigger story that I decided not to tell everybody. I mean, it's private. I would never reveal it. The reason I revealed it is because, number one, it's funny. Number two, I told Gino many times, I said, please let me pay for this. I don't want you to pay for me. It doesn't matter that I drove you around from Venice to North Hollywood and back. I don't care. I enjoyed my time with you. Yada, yada, yada. Let's have fun. I said all that to him, and he said, please let me just do this for you. And I said, fine. And then that happened. And then, of course, we all sang, Gino ain't got no money. And we all sang it together. Gino is flat. So, sure, it was funny, all that. I don't regret it. He was never mad. He wasn't mad, I don't think. Hopefully not. I'm sure it's not a great look. But
yeah, I've noticed with you that you will keep anything secret as long as you don't think it's funny. If you think it's funny,
this is hilarious. Actually,
it's fair. It's fair game.
No, this is actually 100% very hilarious, and actually makes sense to a lot of the reason before, like a lot of the lead up to LA. The situation that was happening, why that was happening, and that's all I'm going to say.
All right, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes to vent about everything, and then we're going to get on track for half an hour, and I'm going to ask you about people, and you're going to answer them, and then we're going to you're going to give us your opinion. And Peter Sky Parker with the most important question of the night: did Gino sleep at Ashley's house?
I'm assuming he's meaning Ashley Cummings, and no. Now, if he doesn't mean Ashley Cummings, I don't know the name of the lady that he actually slept at, whose house he slept at. All I know is that she wasn't there.
Okay, that was a little too much information. We all knew that it was Ashley Cummings he was asking about, and you
Okay.
could have just said no, or
No,
you
no.
could have played the game where you let the dabblers think that it's Ashley Cummings.
No, but because he mentions it on his show that he stayed at some girl's. I don't remember the girl's name or like what the significance. Like she was like in Italy or something. It's the same person whose house he sleeps at every time he comes to LA. It's not like something new or it's not. It's known information. I just don't remember the girl's name. It could be Ashley.
Okay, all right. I had a joke, but it fell out of my head. All right, couple of chats, and then we start with the question. At Tuna, you missed a good Rob Saul yesterday, but if you were there, you need to stop changing your username so much. That's what do they call that? Like military intelligence? Two words that don't oxymoron. Yes, oxymoronic. A Rob Saul.
Yo, I know oxymoron, okay?
And you could hear her in the background. Oh, I know. My joke was, I didn't know Gino still had a show. All right. Gino was being quiet because she was there. I am, speaking of people, I'm going with the countering opinion. I like Ashley Cummings. I think that she would be fun to stream with. And I think she'd lose her mind about stuff. But
no, Gino was being quiet because the lady that lived in a different apartment started complaining about him being loud. Now she might have been. I don't know.
We really don't have to get it. You don't really have to get into this.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You're the one who asked
Gino and his quiet. But he did a show from there.
Yeah, he did a show from there. Also, tomorrow, if you're in the Lafayette area, Aaron Berg will be performing, or like this weekend. So go see him.
Lafayette, California?
Lafayette Comedy Club in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. That was rando, but
I have a friend that books the Lafayette, Louisiana club.
All right. I'm sure that everyone made that leap with you to Lafayette. And speaking of which, as I switch stuff out here, Echo Pineapple, go to bed. Pay up then, Schmuel. She'll go on. Yeah, I don't like her that much.
Ashley? Oh God, no.
Well, I think Dan gave her $100 the other night. And if you watch if you watch the show, I thought it was really good. I thought you got Ashley the way that you would not have gotten her. Again, Schmuel, why you always got to put the brakes on good content? It's my job. It is my job. And let Dave spill all the Gino beans. No, I want Dave to spill them to me so I can do them. Yeah, I don't feel good trying to use your show to fall asleep. We did change the name from Schmuel Talk to Eccles Ambien, and there we go. And I don't want to spill the beans too much, but Eckel is a very much stand-up guy. He asked me to do him a favor, and I did it, and it required him to do something, and he didn't have to do it. Let me finish. He didn't have to do it. It was like one of those things where he could have done it later or whatever, but he took care of it right away. And
now you have a bunch of his merch in your house.
Stand up guy. No, because I've had other people who have asked me to do similar things, and I've done it. And then I wind up spending time tracking shit down, or the terms got changed afterwards. So he's just a fucking just a stand-up guy.
I know how it is shipping across country and having shit stuck in other countries.
So all good. Panhandler, silly euros. And what a good fruit. He is a good fruit. As euros are the worst pan.
It could be US euros.
All right. So you can be quick or you can be long. I have about 45 minutes to an hour. And this might take 2 minutes or it might take a while.
I'm ready.
But give me your reasonably short perspective on the passing of Ski Mask.
Assuming it's just organ failure, terrible. Nobody wants anybody to go like that. I heard it was like a misbeat between his heart and his brain. Hopefully it
Called an
went.
arrhythmia. Go ahead.
Yeah, but my dad has arrhythmia and he's not dead. So that's fucked up. He's 30. I liked the guy. I thought he was a good hang on podcasts. I'd done a few hours of podcasting with him. For whatever reason, he never really came after me, which is nice. I was a big fan of Paul Fenz, who was very good and friends with friends with Paul Fenz, and they're friends. And I've always liked what he did. And the passing is sad, but it doesn't mean we can't make jokes about it. The reason we all got mad at Chad, it's not because he's making jokes about it. It's because he's delusional about the timeline. And he's delusional about like the facts of the case. Okay, if you want to say Ski Mask and Paul Fenz came after me first, sure, you can say that because technically,
I don't mean to interrupt, but who is Paul Fenz?
He's just a guy that used to podcast with Ski Mask. He had a podcast for a while called The Offensive, and now is like a World of Warcraft streamer or something. I don't know. So Ski Mask, but it's Paul Fenz originally is he's specifically originally the one who found out about Chad's misuse of the credit cards and the arrest and all that stuff. And he exposed it. So sure, if you want to say Ski Mask and Paul came after Chad first, I guess you could say that because all they did was come after him by exposing the fact that he had a bunch of fucking credit cards stolen. So that's what I don't like about this whole thing.
It's funny because I found out about the credit cards from a Chrissy Mayer tweet because I think Chad was going after Chrissy at the time, and this is still when Compound was around. So I was texting back and forth with a comedian today, what do you call it? And just to say, he's a real comedian, one that you would know, and asked me if I saw Chad's show yesterday, and I answered not at all, not all of it, but enough. Oh, and they responded with, "I'm in the minority here, but I actually thought it was great."
Well, KB said that too.
So wait. Then it goes on, and he says, "I thought it was a good move. If people were too lazy to catch it live, fuck them. The idea was to make money. So once that's over, whatever." And then he went on and said, "Mainly, I just thought he balanced the humor and sentiment really well, like perfectly, in fact." Then I was really impressed. I'm not a fan, but he really showed me something yesterday. I became a member of his channel and signed up for Patreon. And I said, I disagree on that one. And then the dude was, "Hey man, I'm bullshitting you. It was the worst moment we've had in the Dabbleverse." So I thought it was very funny. He was suckering me in to see if I would.
That?
Huh?
Who said that?
One of the comedians that are from around here.
Okay.
So I thought it was pretty good.
Let's get back to asking me more questions.
All right, so we got that. Let's just see if we have any. Chad always thinks too far, and not even in a funny way. Generally speaking, I think with Chad, you can just automatically assume it's not going to be funny, and you're probably going to be right in most of those cases. And he was so happy celebrating his death. Hey man, if the dude came on and he didn't have all that history with Ski Mask and he did what he did, I would have thought it could have been funny. But it really, Chad doesn't do anything funny. It just comes out with hate. And that's what we saw. And $3 from Sue Party. Dave, do it back. Schmuel, get in the hot tub. We will not be doing a hot tub stream, but Dave certainly can feel free to do a backflip if he likes.
Damn. I haven't attempted a backflip in 15 plus years, and I don't want to do it on level ground.
I don't even take my shirt off at the beach, let alone going to do it on stream. Nobody needs to see that.
I'll fuck my shit up if I do it right now. Imagine.
So, this is my other issue with super tips. Is it's supposed to be up for a certain time and then turn off, but it doesn't. I have to manually turn them off. It is a work in progress. Speaking of which, Chad Lee said that he had moral problems with taking super tips and will no longer be doing that.
Oh, he lost his Stripe account already?
Because he had issues with Melton. And I thought, oh my God, what a bunch of bullshit. He had no problem with Melton saving his life a week ago, but Chad takes everything personally, and he can't respond. Like Melton went after him last night, and Chad doesn't know how to respond. He doesn't know how to comedically respond. So he just becomes a little cunt. So we'll go with that. So let's pull down. All right. Next up, I'm going to change the order because this one might go on. What do you think, Karmic?
I don't find him entertaining. He gets triggered by me a lot because the fake Dave Sarah keeps going in there and fucking riling him up. I think now he's been banned. I mean, I guess I talk a little bit of shit about him, but I don't know. I don't find him very entertaining. I enjoy his chat when I'm in there. I like chatting with the chatters. Well, usually when he's on MLC, he's like a fucking he's like a painting. He's like just laughing at other people talking, especially if it's another person on and him. It's like Kevin and Chad having a conversation, Karmic laughing in the background. So with that, I mean, I know I laugh when I'm on the show too, but I tried to at least interject myself. He's done a lot better. I'll give him that credit.
Let's put.
But I don't find him.
There is no KB. There's only Karmic and Karmic.
On Karmic's show, I subscribe. I'll click it if it's on. I'll give it a like. I'll fucking shoot a happy face in there, and I'm out. That's all I do with these things.
I think the dude has talent.
The show's not about anything. I think that girls really like it because girls find him like kind of vulnerable. There's like some decent kind of like non-copyrighted music in the background that like kind of keeps the mood up there. He's very emotional and again vulnerable, and he's very wears his emotions on his sleeve, and girls tend to like that, not in a suitor, but as somebody that they feel comfortable watching or hanging out with or asking questions to. So I think for
you're saying he's just another gal. He's like one of the gals they can hang out with.
So if you're a guy that's decently fuckable in the Dabbleverse and you're looking for a good suitor, maybe like MGD and Roy Willis, let's say, the two of those can get together. Like, I think that's a perfect place to find Dabbleverse love is in Karmic stream.
Okay. And but do you think Karmic's going to find love in Karmic stream?
No.
You don't think some psycho chick is going to pack up the RV and head over to the old Karmic chateau?
The guy's a decently looking guy. Sure, his face looks like the bottom of a shoe. Fine. And his hair is very North Minnesotan, to say the least. And I'm not talking about the thinning or whatever, so ease up on. I'm talking about the style of the hair.
Frankly, I think that is a chick's dream. It makes him fixable.
Yes, 100%. They say, he's got his own place. He's a family guy. He likes to party. He doesn't have a day job. He doesn't have a boss. And they can literally see how much money he's making in real time. So, and counter to, the April, you would get somebody who's more like a slam piece that's like, oh, if I could just take him and harness his energy in the right direction, he'd be so successful. And
she'd go to the shows with him, and she'd be, standing back, beaming with pride. I get it. I get that. I get that whole thing. But yeah, I think he's a decent looking guy. I think he's a good looking guy, and I think the hair thing and the outfit thing are just for sure stuff that chicks would like to fix.
For whatever reason, maybe it's the fact that I first heard Anthony Cumia and Artie Lang, a doped out Artie Lang, talking about Stuttering John in the early days first. Maybe that's the reason John is the only lolcow I can actually walk. And I'm answering Frank's question here a little bit, like he's funny and entertaining. Dave is leaving out the most important things. And I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not, it doesn't matter. But my point is that, like, if you do find him funny or entertaining, that's fine. Me personally, to be able to find him entertaining or funny, it means that I'm looking at him as a lolcow. And 9 times out of 10, John is like the only one I can even sit through and watch. And that's even hard. That's why I started watching Schmuel and WATP at first, because I was so intrigued and interested in how fucking much of a retard John was, that like I forced myself to watch WATP and Schmuel's show, because I couldn't engage in it and Stuttering John's content just raw,
unfiltered.
like that. Yeah, it's so hard. And in order for me to watch Karmic or Chad or MKE when he's really fucking drunk, or Whitney Cummings, like, these people are lolcows in my opinion, and they're just, or they've got that lolcow mentality and like type of show. And it's so hard for me to watch, because I know for me, there's somebody that when I go live or I'm on your show like this, like, there are people, no matter how good or bad I am, that look at me the same way I'm looking at them, and that is unacceptable. I can't do it for myself, and it's even hard for me to be on streams sometimes, because I'm like, I don't want to be cringy, I don't want to be insufferable. I don't want to waste people's time. I'm just trying to do whatever, just trying to be as funny or entertaining as possible. But Karmic to me is just it's sitting there and like making fun of how bad he is, in my opinion.
I think there's a certain amount of, I think he's got his chat, you could say 50-50. There are people that like him and support him, and then there are other people hoping he drinks himself to death. And then there are guys that are just saying shit about him, so he says shit about them, back and forth. But the thing with Karmic that I find is I will listen to him. I will walk the dog at night and I will listen to him, right? And he'll rant about how he apologized for something, and he has respect for this person and all this. And then I'll come back, I'll put it back on, he'll still be on, and he'll be like, no, she's a fucking cunt and I hate her and I have no respect for that man. And you're just like, wait, where were we 10 minutes ago? And he definitely, it's like, and he can change in an instant. He can go from saying he likes you to saying he hates you within 15 or 20 seconds. So and I find it very repetitive. He says the same things over and over again. So I just want to put this up, which is not related to what we're talking about. It was for sure Dixon, but in my mind, I'm going to just tell you, Chow, you're significantly closer to Corey Adam than you are to Pat Dixon, in that regard.
And Chad Zumach is closer to Corey Adam than Pat Dixon in that regard too, because they open for Swartzen. They're both Swartzen middlers. So
yeah, Chad is replaceable, right? Like that's the deal.
With somebody who's only been in comedy for less than 10 years. I mean, but I actually like Corey Adam a lot. I keep saying Adams, but Corey Adam, like we have had our differences, and nobody wants to come home from an open mic at 3 a.m. after hosting some bullshit and then like stuck in traffic only to be called a fucking open micer. Nobody wants that. But Corey's a good guy, and he's out there doing his thing in Austin. A lot of people in Austin seem to like him. I'll tell you that much. I know a lot of the door people that work at Sunset Strip, Vulcan, the Mothership, and I asked them all about Corey Adam, literally, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, he's great. We love the guy." Not like that, but like, yeah, Corey's great. So
I liked Corey on Steel Toe, right? Like I thought he was okay, and then he went to Texas, and he was like, he was it just I don't know, he it just didn't sort of figure out what he wanted to do, and he was doing like the tasting hamburger streams and the driving RV streams, and
the walk and
it
talk
just
with his mom.
it was just it, I, it was I don't know, it just went on too long, and Soup Party, Dave sure can yap. That's what we keep him for.
That GGG baby.
What would you like? Would you like me to speak at half speed and be bored, or listen to Dave? Tuna, I still remember how innocent he was when he did the stream with Rob Saul on the bus. I guess that was Karmic, right? I don't remember that. Karmic turned his personality times 100 now. I don't even know. I get all right, and let's go to Tuna. I understand that, Frank. I really look forward to Carm's streams when it was just the OG crew in chat. Carm seemed like a sincere guy back then a month ago.
That whole thing was very weird too, because I was there for the whole thing. I mean, I literally was watching Karmic in MLC chat. Then he started like, I found him doing his own streams. There's 5, 6, 7 people in the streams. I was watching there and hanging out every once in a while. And then like one weekend, it was like a Friday or something like that, like a Friday, Saturday, like they just started getting bombarded kind of with sort of random ass accounts. I mean, I don't remember who was texting now, sending super chats in, but like I remember KB was getting like 2 or 3 days, like constantly getting like maybe at one point throughout a whole show, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 super chats asking to send Karmic X the link. And like, I was just like, where is this coming from? And then they sent it, and then, the rest is history, I guess they say.
So I don't know whether I'm misremembering or not, but didn't Melton do a segment on Karmic before Karmic went on MLC?
I don't think that that's possible. I mean, maybe.
He did do a segment on him, and I thought it was before he went on MLC, because one of the things I've noticed with MLC is he will see somebody on somebody else's stream, and then he gets them on his. Now, Karmic was definitely in his chat, but I know Karmic from Dixon's show.
Yeah.
He used to super chat that show all the time, and he even went one night. He paid Pat $50, I think, 50 or 100 to play an entire album.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon or some shit.
Dark Side of the Moon, right? So yeah, that was.
Yeah, I know. The way I remember it was he was on MLC first, and then Melton started covering him.
But Chad has made infinitely more money from stand. No, actually, that's probably quite untrue. But
infinitely.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking
I would believe Chad's made more money than Pat Dixon in comedy, stand up specifically. I would say
maybe if it's the last, if we take in since 2022, since COVID, yes. But
no,
not prior.
I would say the last 10 years.
No, I would disagree, because Pat was headlining all over. He was in a lot of places headlining. So, but he did have the Compound show, so that took a lot. That took a lot of time. Tuna plus the original crew spent so much time and energy trying to build him up when he'd have a meltdown. The question is are those meltdowns legit, or are they performative? I have a feeling with Stuttering John, same thing. They were legit in the beginning, and then they become performative. But Dr. Chow said something here.
Well, no, he started drinking is what happened. Karmic wasn't drinking the first few episodes I ever went on. He was like, I don't drink. I'm not much of a drinker. I maybe will drink like, once a year or something like that, if that. But like, yeah, he had been not drinking for like whatever 7 years or something.
Yeah, he had said in the Dixon chat that he'd been sober for 7 years.
And then just like started doing it for clout. Like, I don't know. That gives me anxiety thinking about that shit.
Dr. Chow, the Mega G. Yeah, it is funny because, right? Captivating and entertaining, no doubt.
Allegedly.
But it's all contradictions, right?
Yes, allegedly mitigated. True.
It really is. Tuna, we talk about the original crew trying to build them up. Yeah, I was that guy. I was trying to go there. It's funny you guys are talking about Corey Adam. For a comedian, that guy was very close to a dud.
I've never seen his stand-up before, ever. And I don't care to. I just interacting with him on Discord. And the only era of Steel Toe I ever watched was the Corey Adam era. And those were the only episodes I ever really watched. And I watched them unironically. I would wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. It would be on while I'm in the shower and getting ready. I'd have a Steel Toe on. When he first started talking about Stuttering John, and then the whole, like when he first came onto the scene with all that, he had maybe 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. He had like just lost his Twitch channel, and it was just a way for me to like get my fucking morning kind of MAGA news, and it was like, it was fine. It wasn't any better or worse than Steven Crowder.
I hate to say that I listened to him unironically. It was more like it was on, it was in the background, and I found it unobjectionable. It was neither great nor horrible. All right, you guys, be like Sue Party for $3. Still waiting on that backflip, Dave.
I can't do it. I'll do here. This is what I'll do. I'll do some. I'll do a cartwheel. Oh boy, will I?
If he breaks his neck and becomes the next quad, ladies and gentlemen, you were here for it. Thank you very much, Sue Party.
Oh. Okay, hold on. I didn't want to hit the thing. Hold on. Oh, that's so bad. That's really bad. I keep thinking I'm going to hit my feet on the I don't want to stretch out.
We got you. I'm glad you didn't paralyze yourself.
I can't back.
So sticking with Karmic for just a couple more things here. Tuna, supposedly Karm tried to protect a woman from being punched by another woman, and the woman turned it around that Karm was the aggressor. Too many stories. Is this the attempt at... What the fuck is this? All right, that's the closest we're getting to a backflip. We really don't need any more gymnastics.
I'm 40.
The first guy I hear that would listen to the toe unironically. Yeah, when we say unironically, Dave has a different version of me. I found it not offensive, and it was on in the background. I didn't really have to pay attention.
Exactly when Melton for me.
When Melton started
and
doing,
then, hold on, and then when the music started to come on, he had another song I think before that too. All right, I would just turn it off. Like I knew that was the time. All right, time to turn it off.
When I started listening to Melton in the morning, it would take me away from work because I actually wanted to hear what he had to say, and we got there. Tuna, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna put an eye out. Um,
I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
um,
I'm 40 almost.
Mint Diggity. I get it's not for you, but the voice, the aesthetic, the synth pop music, plus he can be engaging.
That was another thing I was going to say. His voice is rather soothing, and for a long time there, I was just like putting it on and falling asleep to it. And like I'll even wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, and he'll still be going, and like it just I mean it's fine. I mean, look, I don't care. I don't hate these people enough to turn them off or whatever. Like I'll go into their channel, listen, and it's fine if it's great, but like. It's just because I'm in this world. Like it's just something to click on and have on in the background.
Yeah.
Like I don't sit there and watch and like usually when Melton, when MLC, Melton, and a really good Rogan and Tim Dillon episode. Like Tim Dillon, I watch. MLC, I watch. The potato, like the really big ones, Melton, the potato. I'll sit there and watch the shows.
Right.
I'm not sitting there and watching Karmic or sitting there and watching Schmuel Buckman or any of these other people, really.
Right. And these are, I like to think of my show as you can listen to it on audio only because we're not doing clips. And on Mint, I get that it's not for you. I like the music bed. I find it's something that I used to not like at all on podcasts, but he's got a good sound mix, so I can hear him and I can hear the music in the background. So it's not, neither one of them is overpowering the other. So
so is he using EVMux? By the way,
yeah.
they could spell that thing backwards and it'd have a better name than EVMux. Spell it Zoomv or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't want to go there. Harry Dunn. I literally disagree. I disagree with literally all of Schmuel takes, but actually like this show. What the fuck? Because you don't want me agreeing with you. Because if I agree with you, then you know that you're probably wrong. So anyway, that's a cartwheel, not a backflip. Please don't do that. LOL. We don't want you getting hurt.
The first one looked like an Oompa Loompa one. I know that because my legs definitely did not go over my head. The second one was not terrible, but I keep fearing I'm going to hit my foot on the fucking
Well, Morsky gives you 10, so that's all you need. That's all you need for the night. Put on some glasses and a leather jacket at least. Hey man, I've said it before. I think he's talented. I hope that it all works. In the end, I just wanted to work out for him. You can watch Karmic's show, leave for an hour, and come back and pick right where you left off.
Yeah,
I said in my thing, it reminded me very much of like radio. If you know the New York thing of wins, 10-10 wins, give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the world. They would basically repeat the same shit.
KFI.
You would listen for 20, and that's exactly what happens with Karmic in my view. Is you listen to it, you can leave, and an hour later you can come back, you hear the same thing over and over again.
I haven't heard that in such a long time. We give you give us 22 minutes. We'll bring you the world.
The world.
But with Karmic though too, the one thing that it does feel a little disingenuous is when you say like the exact, like people are like, he's kind of exaggerating now and he's kind of 10x what he used to be. It's like it almost feels shticky, right? Like a shtick sort of. So like I'm not a big fan of shtick, but then again, I listened to Kevin Brennan. I used to think it was a shtick, and I no longer think that. But
he'll be what do you call it? It's just going to be interesting. It's just going to be interesting to follow along. And I've never insulted the guy's talent. I've asked questions like I've asked, is AI music? Is it music? Is it an adjunct to a musician, or is it just really replacing it and not being a musician? And Big Black Dabbler says he needs newer songs. Interesting that you say that. I was listening the other night. And again, radio, like, what did they used to call that on MTV? They had like the top, whatever they used to call it. Like
Total Request Live.
No. They used to have, their original thing was like, I don't know. What you wanted to do is you wanted to get on, they'd play X number of songs an hour, but the same songs would be played more times than others, and
the popular ones.
the popular ones, and that's what with him. He does have maybe the same 5 or 6 songs, and he just replays them over and over. But he takes he'll like, I'm going to take a break and let's listen to some music, and it's the lady on the bull machine, and then 20 minutes later it's Ghost Party, then it's Borderlines. I could probably name all of them, and they're all on repeat.
Yeah, this is definitely not a conversation that I'm interested in having right now.
Yeah. Hey, beloved chatter, this is what I was trying to say. You should take comfort in the fact that Schmuel is always taking the opposite stance as you. If you think he's always wrong, exactly. This is my that's my thing. So, beloved chatter, Karmic super tip commercials are getting pretty good.
Have him make a super tips commercial.
Yeah, I don't know what his super tips commercials are.
Supertips.gg.
No, I know supertip.gg, you little bastard. And they because one Mr. Dave Sauer is actually the owner of
Supertips.gg.
Supertips.gg, which if you go there, it will
It doesn't take you to MLC anymore. Now it takes you to episodes of Ski Mask and Stevie Lou.
Yeah. Hey, man. Panhandler, when I'm asking about Karmic, how is he talented? Stop using general platitudes, Grandpa. I've said it before. He can hold an audience. He can hold your attention for hours at a time, and that's a talent. That by itself. He seems to have mixed in the music. So I would go back to what Mint Diggity said is he does know how to put on a show.
Damn, dude. Mint Diggity is a fan, bro. I love it. He's a fan of Karmic, man.
Mint, hey man, when Mint is on your side, Mint is a loyal fucking guy. When Mint is not on your side, Mint is not a loyal guy. He's the opposite. All right, let's move on from Karmic. We spent way too much time on him. Clearwater Chad.
Clearwater Chad definitely grew on me a little bit. I definitely think he's a lot smarter than he leads on to be. I already did catch him in a lie. He pretended like he didn't know who Tupac was, but he knows who Biggie is. I don't find that credible. And I guess technically if you're like a super East Coast guy, then you would know who Biggie is, but not Tupac, maybe. He's somebody that I definitely would want to hang out with out of all these people. For whatever reason, I find him very like fascinating in the sense that like he's really able to like keep like a very monotone about everything. He's like very even keel about everything, never gets too up, never gets too down. I'm that type of way. I'm animated, but like my emotion never really gets too high or too low. It's kind of very like right here in the middle. And
except when chemically enhanced.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, what I'm trying to say by that is more like I don't know, whatever. It's not that I'm misphrasing. But with
so
Chad,
I'm gonna go. My take on Clearwater Chad is thumbs up. I like Clearwater Chad, and this is the thing that I always complain about Joey, right? Which is he never improves his skills, and Clearwater Chad has obviously worked on improving his skills. Whether it's I don't know if it's advice from Rocco, I don't know what it is, but he's definitely improved. Well, and he doesn't. And the other thing is he doesn't seem to take this for granted. He seems like he enjoys this a lot, and he takes like when he's going to go on Rocco or any other show, he does seem to be prepared. He's a serious guy.
Way. Yeah, I think that his kind of like minimalist attitude towards all this is one very good for like the fact that first of all, I appreciate that like Rocco and we already know Rocco and the Potato are going to shit on him, but that he A, doesn't take offense to it, and B, he plays along with it. Unlike Club Soda Kenny, aka JT, he is less hip with it, to say the least.
I disagree. I think JT plays along with it.
Okay, well, you just know that because fine. But I think JT
No
does.
JT insults on my show.
JT needs some reinforcement on the show sometimes in order for him to like stay interested and motivated during the show. They can't always just shit on JT. They need to give him some reinforcement. Whereas Chad, they can just shit on him, and Chad just goes, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right." And like and again, I think he understands that. I don't think he's like doing it because he's brain dead. I think that he's actually maybe not intelligent, but rather smart guy.
Yeah, look, if this doesn't take a high IQ. The difference between JT and Clearwater Chad in what you're talking about, though, is JT is on the show the entire show, right? So they insult him, they prop him up, they insult him, they prop him up. Chad, he may be on there getting insulted while he's on there, but when he's off, he's only on there for a little bit, and when he's off the show, you Rocco and Potato saying things that they love him and all that stuff. So he's getting that reinforcement too. Now, explain this to me, this Chad. Clearwater Chad, finger red #1. I don't know what this means, and I've seen this said about other people.
It's an emote. It's an emote. The red finger emote.
Oh,
you're
okay.
fucking retarded.
I'm retarded?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm also old. So we got Mr. Blue Sky thinks Clearwater Chad is quite brilliant. Clearwater Chad is the best. Clearwater Chad has admitted it's enacted. Clearwater Chad is a dud who's entertaining. This is knowing your place, maybe. Like alone, Clearwater Chad would not nearly be as funny.
And I'll watch him alone for nothing. Can't watch any of his shit alone.
But put on with Rocco or Eckel or any of these other guys, he becomes a funny guy, right? Yeah. This is totally out of this, but Diamond Lady is 1,000% underrated. Ignore that. But thank you, NJ Ranger, trying to keep on focus. I go to Arby's with Clearwater Chad, 4 beef and cheddars. Oh my God! You can't you don't.
Hand to God, I've never had Arby's in my life.
Growing up in New York, there aren't that many of them, but 2, their roast beef is such shit compared to what you get in a local deli. It's
it's brown.
It's like I've been at
roast beef's brown.
I've been at a hotel, right? And you go like, oh, there's an Arby's nearby, and you grab one, and you're like, what the fuck is this I'm eating?
No, man.
Is Cigarette Jones, is Type Water Conduction, Frank, holy shit, Schmuel looks too deep into this shit. That is what I do. That's why I'm here. That's my point.
What everybody wants to get to deep dive into Clearwater Chad.
I deep dive. I deep dive in all these guys because I really like. That's what I like. I like seeing these guys and seeing how they evolve. Clearwater Chad is harmless, aimless, but also harmless. I just like him. And I'm glad that he got out of that original Joey C, Frank Amendola thing. Now, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but Frank Amendola, who was playing Chad's lawyer, originally he was playing Joey C's lawyer when Clearwater came on. Frank Amendola was a lawyer in Georgia who was convicted of like murdering 13 people or something. So the guy with the really shady past. So I don't know if he did that as a joke or he just picked the name because he liked it.
I doubt he just picked the name because he liked it. Chad, while Clearwater Chad, while I do like him and watching him, he is somebody I would like to meet. I do get some very strange vibes from him.
I think he would be like just this nice, self-effacing guy. Yeah.
What I want is for him to show up to a place and just start shitting on people. Dave, you fucking cokehead retard. What the fuck? You fucking unfunny little prick piece of shit. Get the fuck over here.
I don't see that happening.
No, not do
Clearwater Chad is a big Andy Kaufman fan, which explains a lot. Yeah, but it's hard to do that. Andy Kaufman thing is hard to do and be funny at the same time and get people to appreciate it. And just final boss real quick. Who the fuck is JT?
What's up,
That's
Soda Kenny?
producer for those guys. Clearwater Chad is the new OJ.
I hear ya.
OJ's not going to be happy about that. All right. There's a difference between
No, it's just mud sharks. Go on, sorry.
all right, we're getting there. Just like
I
slow down.
know.
Yeah, old and retarded. He also can't hear. You know what's great about getting old and people thinking you have hearing problems? You can ignore so much more than you ever did before, and you actually heard it.
I'm trying to get my mother to get hearing aids, and she is fighting the whole way with it, man. It's
I just
fucking
went
brutal.
for a hearing test, and it's normal. Diamond Girl, Diamond Lady. All right, we're back to Karmic. Opinion, JT is the call screener for Tookie. Not sure if you already got the answer. JT is a good egg.
Yeah, we know
Me neither, Dave. Apparently, it isn't worth going.
Yeah, Arby's.
Oh, okay. It's not roast beef. It's all fake beef.
Yeah, it's like deli meat with Costco buns with nacho cheese on it. I'm not into it.
Clearwater Chad brought in $150 in 5 minutes on Zumach show today. Wow.
Okay, so okay. I mean, so how much of that is Clearwater Chad getting?
0, probably. You know?
Fuck Chad, man.
Yeah, Clearwater Chad makes his victims deep drive when he throws them on the falls.
Chad's the epitome of a phony.
This is so funny because this is Frank. Frank really has a problem with Melton. He can't let go of. It's not possible in Frank's world to be a fan or a viewer of Melton.
Good.
Without having some kind of ulterior motive or being some sort of weirdo. But I'm reading, Frank, you're here, man. Deep dive into Melton being a manipulator of incels, and without incels, he'd have no viewers. I've been to Melton's Hackamania events twice, and I can tell you there are about as many non-incels as there are incels.
The thing about Patrick
Frank
Melton,
Amendola is monitoring the stream.
The thing about Patrick Melton is that he really is like an awkward gamer guy. You know, like he fits in that same category as like awkward online gamers. Like he's not exactly like a fucking outgoing person, in my opinion.
No, and you know when you meet him, he's a quiet guy. He's not loud and obnoxious.
He doesn't game though. I get that
in public, and it's quiet. JT is the new OJ, not Clearwater Chad. I like it better. I like Clearwater Chad being the new OJ better.
Well, Clearwater Chad doesn't know anything technical. At least OJ knows technical stuff, and JT can kind of can click a couple buttons like you can.
But I don't know. OJ's a nice guy, and all that. But JT's just like, he's just a good egg. Like you can't meet JT and not automatically like him. He smiles, he responds. He's a good guy.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's great.
I don't know why people resist hearing aids so much. Echo. We'll save that for another show.
It's because old people, it's automatically 100% back in the old days. Is like once you got hearing aids, you're an old person.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of it. And then, you know, it's funny when you meet, like, my father-in-law was like in his 80s and in bad health, and he would always be making plans for like when he was going to get a dog, you know, and walk the dog. And you're just like, and I'm like going, you're never, like, I wanted to say to him, like, you're never getting a dog. Like, just let's be realistic here. Could you just not eat so much now?
He was big.
He got big. He got big as he got older because he was just sitting in the chair watching TV all the time. And they're Greek, and it's all food. Everything is food. Everything is food. All right, let's move on because we only got about 15 minutes. And
Yeah, that's one thing that we don't have a lot of in our family are like really fat people for whatever reason. We don't have that.
okay.
Luckily.
Oh, by the way, go back earlier. I don't want Ashley as a guest. I want her as a co-host.
Fucking
I
killing
want to
me.
do a once a week. Ashley, but she has to watch Dabbleverse shows like I don't, so that we can review them. Review the individuals in them, like what she thinks about people. All right. So we've already talked.
You're trying to do what fucking the corn is trying to do. You're trying to do like a psychological fucking evaluation on everybody here, huh? You're
But a
just
psychological but I want to do a psychological evaluation with somebody that's got psychiatric problems. Like that's the goal, right? Like I don't want to have the sorcerer on and actually explain what's happening.
That's not what I mean. The corn is getting a list of all the of every single person in the Dabbleverse to like do a psychoanalysis on all of them, just like what you're doing.
So send everyone over to Aussie Guy when you wrap up. I have a link for that show. So
hold on. Do you know how to do? Okay, never mind. We should do a thing. We should host him. We should do a host. I can walk you through it very, very quick. It's very easy.
Yeah, but he's got a show he's doing. I don't want to.
No, that's not what I mean. It means that you could take your channel and just send everybody there, so he gets 60 people. Is what I mean. But it's too complicated to deal with right now.
All right. Look, you're an admin or whatever. Can't you do it?
You have to do through your YouTube channel, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you could go into my YouTube channel.
I don't have access to your YouTube channel.
I bet you do.
I don't.
In any event, co-hosts are cheaper. Wise move. Exactly. So interesting thing about co-hosts. So I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal about a year ago. And I wish I could remember their names, but it was a couple, and they started doing a YouTube stream, and then the YouTube stream grew and grew, boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess, and this stream grew and grew and grew, and then they broke up, and there was a fight over the money, and they had never had like a partnership agreement or even a letter, and they both went their own way. And neither one of they're still fighting. They were still fighting in court over the money that was in the bank account, but they both went their own way, started their own channels, and they were off. Basically, went from tens of thousands of viewers to 30, and that was it. Sorry, that's just a rando that I find interesting. Liam is panhandle. Liam is the worst PSP. Frank shits on Liam nonstop. But he compares me to Liam all the time, so that makes sense now. I would not know that. It only makes sense that Liam would clap back. Whatever. I don't want to go there. All right. So we did Liam rebranded. That rebranding thing hasn't really done much for too many, right? All right. So basically, I had Aaron on the list, but we did Aaron enough already. I have Granny on the list, but I think we have enough on Granny, unless you have any quick thoughts on Granny.
I tried to pay him double to not go to Chad Zumach's show, and he declined. So,
all right. I like Lemmy a lot, and so I think that gives me that gives Granny credibility to me, like off the bat. And he was on my stream a week or so ago, and
Granny, obviously,
we talked about his stuff, and I think he's one of the more naturally funny people in the Dabbleverse.
Look, when I heard Ski Mask passed away, I teared up a little bit. If I heard Granny passed away, I would probably tear up a little bit.
Okay, all right.
But if Chad passed away, no. If Karmic passed away, I'd probably tear up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not really a tear up kind of guy. So
That's for me. It's like I think about and I say and I watch some of the craziest shit, like craziest, like the darkest comedy or the craziest videos of fucking, bombings and shit like that in different countries, or like, but and I watch all that shit so much, and I don't really even watch dramas all that much, but like a fucking like a commercial about like a father and a son having like a good cute moment will just send me over the edge just randomly, like every once a day or something. But that's good. You got to laugh, you got to cry, and you got to, I don't know, jerk off once a day. I think that's the rule.
all right. Because he's up. All right, numero uno, Josh Denny fan. People hadn't enabled Liam because they are easily manipulated by ridiculous anti-Ray nonsense. People like Frank and myself wouldn't need to try to work so hard against it. So, Liam.
Yeah, me specifically, what do I think about Liam? Liam,
no, the other guy that's in the room with us.
Liam is a funny one. It's not the way that you're thinking. I don't know what it is. Like something about Liam is endearing to me. But the problem that fucks me up so much is that like he's so afraid of like these guys like Frank and whatever. Like I want to tell numero uno Josh Denny fan where Liam works. I want to, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like not because I don't trust numero uno Josh Denny fan to not tell Liam, but just because like Liam don't need that shit right now. And like so,
whoa. Who? I'm sorry. I got beloved chatter sent me a DM and it confused me. Who's giving whose address?
Nobody's giving nobody's address.
No, what did you just say?
All I said is I want to tell numero uno Josh Denny fan where Liam works. I want to do that, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
I can't do that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do it either. I just my thing. I feel like Liam is performative. I don't know. I don't feel like a relationship with Liam is real.
He's so afraid of the internet. He doesn't belong on here.
He's like, and I feel like when I'm having a conversation with him, instead of getting real, he's just collecting information to use, to throw it back in your face later on.
Yeah, he does seem a little sly like that. And like he comes on, you go on podcast, right? And he's like setting you up with questions just so you could fucking like, whatever, do some gay director bullshit in the end where what a twist. He wants to M. Night Shyamalan and being, Shyamalan you.
And he does like to talk shit about people. And, he likes to talk shit about people. And it doesn't matter whether above him or below him. But what I notice is when he thinks they're below him on the spectrum, he'll challenge them if they're on stream together. But when the bigger person or the better writer is on stream, he just tries to avoid any conflict, and pleads that, he didn't want to derail show or anything like that. So
I just think that he is, again, like he remembers the internet, how it was in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And he thinks it's still that. And I mean, not a lot has changed, but people have the ability to access way more information than they did 10 years ago. And I don't think he likes that. And like, it's just one of those things you have to deal with. Or, you have to be a complete nothing zero sweetheart on the internet, have literally no opinion about anything controversial, and nobody will ever go after you. And that's fine. But it's just the dirty ass world that we live in. So that's all I can say about Liam. Liam is, I don't really know the guy. I've watched him barely. Out of all these people we've mentioned, I've probably watched Liam the least out of all of them. So even less than Karmic.
He is also not around. But the one thing that with a lot of these guys is this thing about getting monetized, like, oh, when I get monetized, that's when I'm gonna, make money and stuff. And that's what Liam was trying to do with the old videos, the out of copyright movies. I'm gonna get my watch hours in and all that stuff. And once again, like nothing comes of it. His opinion. I thought this was Leo Gunn. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It is Leo Gunn. Liam subtly trolling Ray was endearing to me. It was in the beginning, and it was funny because of Ray's reaction. But then it lost its funniness to me when he would then go on places and shit on Ray. He's been accused of, trying to get to the girls that are on Ray's show. But it was just like, I don't know. I thought he was acting like Ray's friend, and like it was good natured ribbing. And then it seemed like he was really being a scumbag when Ray wasn't around. Just, my opinion. And we're talking about, this is, I guess, Liam Schmuel. That's what someone with narcissistic personality disorder asks about you just to use against you later. Definitely a toxic behavior.
It's not my favorite thing when people do that, but if you're really, but what is one of my favorite things is noticing that and then countering it while in real time while it's happening, if you're able to do so. I'm not saying I've been able to do so many times, but it has come up in different situations, similar things like that, where I know somebody's trying to pull one off on me, and then they think they got me trapped, and then I use their energy against them, and then I got them trapped.
Gotcha. Like some kind of
energy, and then I flip their energy.
Energy judo, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I got ahead.
I knew we were going to get that. The disrespect from both was hilarious, Chow. Ray's balls are so clean in here. I have to have one person that I defend. Okay, Liam, I thought you were a fruit. And the idiot brain comedian as a species always thinks of people in hierarchy of credits. This is true.
Is Liam in here?
His name is not in here, but
okay.
Based upon what other chatters say that Liam is saying, it seems likely that he at least listens to the show.
Cool. I like it again. Liam's fine. I don't know. I want to go hang out with him, but he doesn't drink and stuff, so I can pass.
Oh wait, maybe this is him.
Here we go.
Hilarious. These two people who know nothing about me, Schmuel, you are literally obsessed with me. I mean, literally. You can't stop talking about me. I talk of neither of you.
Talk to neither of you. Yeah. Talk to neither. Yeah. Just like I said, I've listened to Liam out of the least of them.
Yeah, when we went through we went through a list of people, and the only reason why you came up was because somebody put you in the chat.
And clearly, we're not wrong. You are scared of Frank and numero uno Josh Denny fan for whatever reason.
Right.
They did the same shit to me, and now we're friends. I'm okay. Hey, I'm still okay.
Right? And you were the one that said you were getting your watch hours from playing the out of copyright movies.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. That's what you said you were doing.
And I've been on record on this show saying, I think that's a great fucking idea. I think we all should have channels of fucking free money. In fact, I might steal your videos and re-upload them to my channel because I think it's a great fucking idea.
Right. And if you don't know anything about me and don't want anything to do with me, why are you in my stream?
Oh,
right?
Schmuel, shut up. Stop that. That's
cringy.
That's cringy.
No. Hey man, no. It's welcome to the show. Welcome to be in the stream. But don't give me the bullshit that I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about you. I don't know whatever. But
yeah,
I'm
we
here.
only know what you let us know by going on all these shows that you've been on and Clown Town for hours and hours. So don't start with the you don't know me shit. Yeah, we know we don't know you.
Right. And Clown Town goes on for hours and hours. And, Liam, I was going to give you credit for one thing. The question that you asked Karmic, your question to Karmic about Dixon and whatnot was probably the best question that anybody asked Karmic that night. Just because I don't like what I've seen personally, that's up to me. But I've often said you're funny, and obsession. I don't know, man. We talk about you. We talk about everybody. So,
Yeah, we'll be fine. Don't worry about us.
yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah, but to your
Liam
point,
Schmuel doesn't even hate you. He will like anyone who will go on his show.
it's like with the monetization shit too. Like when I went on with Felicia, and I'm pretty sure I've said this a lot. Even it's like getting monetized is half the battle. The other half is making the fucking money, which is arguably the harder half. So like, yeah, no, I never personally once thought that like the monetization was like the end of it. It was like the beginning of it. And the only reason I cared about having my channel monetized was because I'm looking to do a live show, like live in a club, live on YouTube, and part of that will be super chats.
Liam is a bigger crybaby than Chad. There you go. Yeah, and whatever. Apparently we're not, so you guys get offended when Liam claps back. Liam's allowed to clap back. None of us were getting offended, but
no, but I'm just saying
I'm not obsessed with him.
I'm not claiming that I know him. I even literally just said it. I don't know you. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, stop gaslighting the chat again, like you do in Ray's chat, right?
Okay, Schmuel is mad because I figured out how to make money at this while he chips away at his 0 viewer show. Yes, that's exactly.
Okay, so by my calculations, he has 658,000 views on his channel, which means he's made maybe $1,000.
Congratulations.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do this. Whatever. And Liam, that's not why I'm mad. I'm mad because I asked you once to come on a show and talk about something, and you chose to not do it.
Yes,
and we're a dick when you were there. So that's it. And I don't find, I've said you're talented. I've talked about your old stuff that I've seen, said you were a good writer, all those things. I just don't find you personally all that interesting. Anyway. Okay. Go ahead, Dave.
That's it. I'm looking at Pop Culture Dumpster's numbers with 939 subscribers, and comparing it to my numbers, and well, depending on when he was monetized and when he started making the views, he's probably made about $1,000. So it's pretty good. Yeah, man, you're really showing us, buddy.
All right. Numero uno. Liam has said multiple times he was scared of things I've said or done. I agree he shouldn't be, but he has said and acting like I'm actually a weirdo because afraid of gaslighting. I don't know, man. I guess I just don't find him that honest, and I really hadn't thought about him enough to come up with. I'm not that quick. I did whatever. And I'm not adverse to sending Liam the link. I'm happy to have Liam on at any time. I'll even make a special time for him, but tonight is not that time.
Yeah, and the other reason I'm bringing up money is because Liam was the one that's like, I found a way to monetize this, Schmuel. It's like, okay. All right, buddy. Welcome to the crew, finally. Hey.
Frank, I know a guy who was a bit obsessed with Liam when Liam first came around. The guy learned everything about him. At least Liam doesn't give everybody a wrench like a coward. Yeah, I haven't given one out. Yeah,
maybe you might be talking about me. By the way, Stalin, Liam, I took out all the wrenches.
Liam, just let's be honest. You weren't invited. I haven't sent you the link. I'm just responding to my chat, but I don't want anyone thinking that I would be intimidated by that. I don't know anything about comedians. They are a brotherhood who look to lift each other up. Liam and Buckman, remember who you are. Yes. But I don't know. When Liam started going on Ray's show, I tried Venmoing the money to troll Ray a few times, and Liam refused every time. Ray treated Liam like shit whenever he did rock bottom. Ray deserves shit. Yeah, I didn't see it that way, but I did see the stuff with what do you call it, where Liam would go on shows and talk about how horrible Ray was to the women that he had on his shows, exposing them to the Dabbleverse and blah, blah, blah. And my attitude at the time was, hey, they're comedians and they're entitled. They have their own agency and they can do what they want to do. So we are going to wrap it up. I was going to ask you about Joey C, but that would just go on way too long. And I got another show of to head to. So guys, if you can, let me just bear with me one sec. Let me see if I can pull this up. You don't have the Aussie Guys link by any chance, do you?
I'll get it for you right now.
All right, and could you put that in the chat?
Yep. You could do a legit raid, but you want to try the legit raid? Do you want to try the legit raid? Do you want to try it? It's very easy. I'll walk you right through it. Trust me.
All right.
Go to your YouTube channel right now. Go to studio.youtube.com.
No, I'm on my YouTube channel.
Okay, studio.youtube.com. Go to go to live.
I'm there.
Oh no. Go to top right corner, create. Okay, create.
All right.
Top right, go live.
Right.
Okay, at the bottom, the channel bottom left corner, channel level settings.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. I'm almost there. I'm figuring it out right now. 1 second. Channel level settings. We can do it. I teach you one time and you always do this. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work because I'm on a live stream.
No, I know you are. I know. Hold on. We're doing it right. I'm getting it right here. Hold on. I know it's right here. Hold on 1 second. Manage. 1 second. No. Manage. Damn it. All right, next time. I don't remember exactly how.
I have.
Damn it. It's somewhere right here in the stream settings. I forgot where it is. It's kind of confusing. Edit. Right. Oh yeah, it's right here. Right. Yes. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yes, perfect. Okay, so click on click on the live stream. Now it brings up your live stream, right? But like you can't see anything. It's just like the connect to stream software, go live, blah blah blah. You see where it says edit on the right side? Right next to edit in the studio. Edit. It's like near the title of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, hit edit.
Uh-huh.
Now scroll down. Wait. Okay, hit customization. Hit customization. Then scroll down. Yes. You see redirect?
Wait. Am I hitting edit or am I hitting customization?
No, you hit edit first. And then
right. I have no customization in the drop.
It shows details.
I got description, visibility, altered content, audio.
On the left of that. Damn it. All right, whatever. We'll just do the link.
On the left of what?
Like the details is the title, description, and then under
title, description, visibility, altered content, audience.
That means your window is too big and the pop-up window. Okay, never mind. The pop-up window is too big. It's not a big deal. I'm giving you here's the link in chat.
All right.
I'll teach you how to do it next time. It's very
all right. Cool.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. You leave and I'll finish up. All right. I'll see you later. I'm looking at Schmuel's next rock as appearance to laugh as Ray shits on Schmuel while he sits there and takes it. I haven't gotten a link to a rock bottom appearance in forever, so I doubt that's going to happen. And I hope to God that the link in here is legit that Dave put in because I can't see it. Pop culture disaster. I'll read it. I think it's because I called him out on trolling Ray, and now Ray doesn't have him on anymore. Assumptions. Liam, but all good. I honestly, it's been my choice not to be on there. And I'm looking forward to Schmuel. All right, we already did that one. Beloved chatter. Really rode this one into the ground. Liam endlessly promoted Sheckler just to get scared when Sheckler put up a poll asking if he should do a Liam video. Yeah, whatever. It just, I don't know. I just, there's enough about Dave. There's enough about Ray. There's enough people that don't like Ray, but do it with class, like my friend Leo Gunn and Beloved Chatter. But I don't like it. I'm an emotional woman. I'm an emotional woman. Schmuel went against Sheckler when Liam was promoting him. I don't think I ever talked about Sheckler because I didn't want to draw attention to him. But hey, that's just me. Guys, it's been great. It's been a really good night. I will see you in a day or so. Thanks for bearing with me. Please like and subscribe, comment afterwards. Liam, write a Substack about me. I'd love to read it. And you guys have a great night. All right. Bye.